Good morning, class. Today we'll start with Java program components. Every Java program should have the following components. First, the documentation section. This is a general command line given by the programmer to describe about the program, the process involved, various steps used in the program, etc. For example, if a loop is given to count the numbers, then in front of that loop we can always give a comment like loop used for counting numbers. If there are multi-line comments, then they should be enclosed in /, asterisk and /. Next comes package statements. This informs the compiler that the classes included in the given package will be used in the program. Next comes the import statements. This is used to import the various packages like import java.io.asterisk, import java.lang. Next comes the main class. The execution of a Java program starts and ends in the main function. So, a program should have a main function inside one of its classes. This class is called as main class. Now, what do you understand by this? Any Java program can have a number of classes, any number of classes. But there will be only one class in which the main function is there. The class which contains the main function. The class which contains the main function is called as the main class. So the execution starts and ends at the main function of that class. Next topic is Java character set. The set of valid characters available with the programming language to perform various operations are commonly termed as character set. Java tokens. The smallest individual unit in a program is known as a Java token. The Java program uses 5 types of tokens. The first is keywords. These words, which convey a specific meaning to the Java compiler, are called keywords. For example, if else, for, do while, continue, int, char, switch case, new, etc. Next Java token is an identifier or a variable. Those quantities which change their values during program execution are called variables. They are user-defined words which follow certain rules. What are the rules? An identifier must begin with a letter. It can never start with an underscore or a digit. It can consist of letters, digits and underscore together. There should be no space or dot between any letter of a variable. Since Java is case sensitive, uppercase and lowercase characters are considered different. Next Java token is a literal, also called as a constant. They are a sequence of characters, digits, letters, etc. that represent a constant value to be stored in a variable. For example, 23. This is an integer literal. 24.56. This is a float literal. This is a character literal. This is a string literal. Enclosed in double quotes means string. Enclosed in single quotes means a character. This is a Boolean literal. Next is operators. The symbols used to perform various operations on operands are called operators. A few operators are given over here: arithmetic, relational, logical, increment, decrement and assignment. Next is separators, also called as punctuators. The first is brackets. They are used as array subscript. For example, int a equals to new int 20. See here, brackets are given over here. Next is braces. To define a compound block and to initialize an array, braces are used. Here, this is a compound block which for loop which is having many statements in its body. So this is a compound block. It is enclosed in braces. Next is parenthesis. They are used to enclose arguments in a built-in or user-defined method such as loop statements, typecasting, etc. Look over here. For loop, parentheses start from here. These are loop statements which are enclosed in parentheses. In the next statement, there is a float variable v which has been initialized with the value 2.5. When we typecast it into int variable, int value, and store it in the variable n. We write int in parenthesis in front of the float value. This is called as typecasting. Next comes semicolon, which is used to terminate a Java statement. Example, int f equals to x into 3. Next comes a comma, used to separate a list of variables like int a, b, c, d. Next comes a dot or a period. It is used to separate package names from sub-packages and classes. For example, if the statement is like this, import java.io.asterisk. What does it mean? Java is the name of the package, which is separated by its sub-package. IO is the sub-package, and asterisk means all the classes will be included in the program. So this is the package, this is a sub-package, and here we can specify the class explicitly also. If I write asterisk, that means all classes are included. If I write just one name, the name of one class, then only that class will be included. So dot operator is used to separate packages with sub-packages and classes. Next topic is data types. There are two basic data types, primitive and non-primitive. Primitive data types are also called as intrinsic data types. Non-primitive data types are also called as derived data types. Primitive can further be classified into numeric and non-numeric. Now numeric can also be classified in integer and floating point. Integers are short, int and long, whereas floating point are float and double type data types. Non-numeric are char and boolean, and derived data types are classes, interfaces and arrays. The last topic which we are going to discuss today is the size of primitive data types. What do you mean by that? That means if I take a short variable, then it will consume 2 bytes of memory. This is the size of a short variable. Then integer type takes 4 bytes, long type take 8 bytes, float type take 4 bytes, a double variable takes 8 bytes and a char variable take 2 bytes. This is all for today, children. I expect all of you to read the text and the chapter and make notes in your notebooks given in this video. Thank you. If you have any problems, we'll be meeting on Tuesday evening 6 o'clock.